All right. Three, two, one, go. Hi, and welcome to another episode of My Mom Has Tourette's podcast. Hi, and welcome to another episode of My Mom Has Tourette's podcast.
That was my fault. I'm so sorry.
Why are you saying it like that, Josh?
All right, on another episode of My Mom Has Tourette's podcast, one of her mothers used to be an extreme CVS couponer.
Why is
Just
this
roll with it. We
pouring
can't
all
stop.
over me?
That time it was Nathan.
That was me.
On another episode of... Welcome to another episode of My Mom Has Tourette's podcast. This week...
Why can't you talk normal, John? He said, welcome. My name's Josh. Dude, what?
Welcome. I'm
Josh,
What was that?
you're doing this. You're welcome.
I'm not even saying...
He's
Don't
saying
even say welcome.
Weird.
Andrew.
Don't
he's,
even say
Andrew,
welcome.
he's saying things weird.
He really is.
We're not trying to listen. You've done this before, and you didn't talk like this.
I sound the same. Welcome.
Absolutely. That was normal.
Welcome. I did it again.
See? You knew it. You knew it.
Josh, I
bum.
don't want you to be self-conscious about it. Just say the sentence. Just go through with it. I don't care how it's said.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to another episode of My Mom Has Tourette's podcast. This week, one of her mothers used to be an extreme CVS couponer. I'm Josh.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Nathan.
And I'm Josh. All right, that's over with.
All right, 56 takes later.
We had
Finally
a rough
nailed it, boys.
time starting this episode. I'm done with this. But we are finally there. We finally did it.
All right.
Sweet.
Yeah. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
Welcome. All right,
Oh
how
my
was your
goodness.
week?
Let's see. My week was all right. Trying to think if I did anything fancy. Not really.
Oh,
I got
know
a
you got
smoker this past
we
week.
go.
So, was it this week? I think I got it last week. Yeah, and I didn't make anything until this week. That's what happened. I made some burgers, some andouille sausage. It was good stuff.
All right.
Good stuff. Man, now it's sitting out chained to my porch so no one steals it because I grew up where people steal things when I was younger, so I'm always paranoid about that. You know, when I was a kid, someone took a pedal off my bike. I don't know if I ever told you that. Like a pedal. Imagine going outside, a little I don't know, it was like 5 or 6 year old Andrew goes out to take his little bike with training wheels out, and he's like, I can't ride my bike. Like, bro, steal my freaking bike. Don't just take a pedal. Like, take the whole thing. So I'm just like, oh man, I don't have a bike anymore. No, don't just make it inaccessible. You're like selling people lemonade without sugar. Like, that's just the dumbest thing. It was so irritating.
At that
That
point,
didn't happen to me
that's
this
funny.
past week.
why not take the bike? Because then at least someone gets enjoyment
That's-
out of it.
Exactly. The guy was, whoever, guy, girl, whatever, was just like, yeah, I guess I just need a pedal. So
They just thought they were the
this
best.
one
No,
will
they
fit.
just thought they were the best comedian in the world, but there was nobody who
Two
was around
things.
to get the joke.
My daughter's bike is missing a single pedal.
Wow.
And if I had to bet on somebody, it was probably your dad that took the pedal.
Dang.
My dad?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you say that?
I just feel like your dad would take a pedal. Like, haha, Andrew, you can't ride your bike now.
I just feel
He
like
just-
your dad would take a pedal, Josh. 2023.
My dad just caught wind of the Christmas present Josh wants to get him, and he's like, haha, I'm gonna strike first, you bum.
He doesn't have my address.
Oh yeah.
How'd your dad
But yeah.
find out about that?
Oh, I'm just saying that's probably why he would steal it. Is
Oh.
if he found out that that's what you were trying to do to him. But
alright.
yeah, I don't think I really had anything else really happen this week. Nothing crazy anyway, just a lot of work.
How about you,
Same old,
Nathan?
same old.
I worked 5 of the days, and during that time, I played a lot of modded Minecraft. Apart from that, That's the part of the perks of working from home. Part of that was just sitting around all day, every day, and then hanging out with my wife a bit between. But apart from that, I got new glasses, and I don't know if you've noticed, they're extremely reflective. Because they misunderstood or something, or forgot to put the anti-glare coating on it. Whatever it is, I don't know, man. But I have another pair coming in now. But now I have to, like, kind of angle my eyes so you can see me. There's my light over there.
On the bright side, you could do the anime glasses thing, I'm sure. Where you push them up and then it's... Oh, no, you gotta get the right angle.
It's
like right there, sort of. Oh, there it is. Ching.
I don't know what the meme looks like to whatever, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. My week was pretty boring otherwise. We played a lot of Pokemon Go yesterday and today because of Pokemon Go Fest, so that was a good time driving around with my wife half the day. But
nice.
Yeah, it was pretty normal week otherwise.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
I'm fuzzy, and I wish it was clearer.
Oh, and likely this is the last week you'll see with all of this and all of this.
So this is the end of the My Mom Has Tourette's podcast.
Dang. Wow.
If we get 500 likes on this video, Nathan will not shave or cut his hair.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Guess we gotta start making some accounts, Josh, because we don't have that many viewers.
Wait a second. They have to be real ones.
Of course it's real. You think Andrew's fake Gmail at gmail.com is real?
Just get heavily into marketing. Don't spend your time getting fake stuff, man. What the heck?
Get that coffee.
What coffee? And
what about you there,
Josh?
Joshua? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't do anything but work. So.
Welcome.
How'd things go with you,
to
Josh?
the game.
It was just that? That was it?
They're fine. I just worked. Worked and then had the weekend off.
That's it?
Are you finally, like, fully kind of unpacked?
There's, like, a couple boxes here and there that just aren't tended to.
Also about to finish Lord of Chaos, Book 6 of the Wheel of Time, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. It's going well so far.
Sweet. What's it about?
The Wheel of Time.
Elevator speech. Ah, nice.
Gosh, elevator speech for a 14-book, like, 50,000 series page. Not page. I'm bad at elevator speeches. I'm bad at explaining stuff in general.
Oh yeah,
you don't want to
Alabatra.
make me do this. You don't want to.
That's why I tried to get him to do it again.
I'm listening to a D&D podcast, and they had the Lord of Chaos in that.
Oh, interesting. Well, that's just the title of the book for the Wheel of Time.
They were trying to summon him.
Oh, we don't want that. That sounds like a bad idea.
Then they killed everybody with a pyramid.
They just push it over.
One could say that was a pyramid
they were
scheme.
magic beans, and they threw the beans down an elevator shaft to like give them to somebody to help them. And the beans fell out. When the beans fall out of the bag, they instantly like turn into whatever. It's a random effect. And one of the beans turned into a 60-foot base pyramid and crushed the entire building. And
welcome back to Baldur's Beans 3. How's that been, by the way?
Welcome!
You guys been enjoying that?
I haven't had a whole lot of time. I know Andrew played yesterday.
Yeah, I played a little bit yesterday with Joel and Michael, and Joel is still going off on his "I'm not evil, but I'm gonna kill everyone" thing. But yeah,
how does he reconcile the two?
He doesn't. I just did something extremely chaotic evil, because it was starting to wasn't really getting irritating, but I just couldn't keep up because I'm still new to that kind of game genre. And so I just run around and he's like killing everything. And I'm like, oh, it'd have been sure nice to get the story behind this, even though you know it and I don't. So we went back to camp and I killed the dog.
So it's not going well.
No, I just succumbed to the dark side, and now I'm gonna stab everything too.
This guy's Anakin.
I did kill a child with a knife by accident, so there's that.
By accident.
Thank
Yeah,
you
I meant
for
to shoot him with
watching
my
Oops,
bow, but I
the...
you're
didn't realize I
dead.
had.
My
I meant to.
bad.
I tried to shoot him with my bow, and I forgot that I had my knives equipped. So I ran 30 feet behind this kid and just. And I was like, "Oh, I didn't mean to get my hands dirty like that." But
With a
So
shotgun?
either way, you were trying to kill him.
yeah, this was at the epitome of Joel saying the goblins are storming the good guys, and I'm going to side with the goblins. So we had to kill all the women and children. It was a fun time.
So, demonetized.
Yeah. Family friendly content here, boys.
Not killing children with knives and coming
With
back
women?
to camp and killing dogs, and that's my
Yeah,
favorite
he
part of the
also.
Talos Principle.
Wait a minute. We're allowed to kill goblins, but we can't kill children.
That's like
Yeah,
Skyrim.
goblins aren't people.
Take away their rights because they never had any.
Classic. That is the way to. That is the best way to take
Listen,
away rights. Is never
the,
give them in the first place.
in the real world, you only have rights if you're not ugly. And I'm sticking behind that statement.
This is accurate. This is very accurate.
Anyways, I believe at this point we should segue. This is a great segue into gaming news.
Woot! Gaming news.
Woot woot.
Woot!
News of the gaming.
Oops.
Gaming news. Okay, so first article, gaming news. We're going to talk a little bit about a game called Phasmophobia, or rather, some issues with the development cycle of Phasmophobia. So, I guess the Phasmophobia was delayed on console following a fire incident. A fire incident in the developer's office building. So if anyone here watching this, the 5 viewers, the chances are low. But if that's the case and you were looking forward to this, sorry to break it to you, but everything caught on fire. So
Oh.
yeah, I guess it was like their main office building where they work on the game and everything. There was some kind of fire, so it impacted their ability to test and
Goodness,
develop it.
people.
So they said it's going to be delayed. They don't know yet, but it says about a special launch during the week leading up to Halloween, probably instead of August like the initial plan. So sorry, Phasmophobes, you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, and considering it's already the end of the month, the August release was kind of already not happening, it sounded like.
That's rough. Yeah, that's close. I don't know about that. Gaming news article 2. Off the Grid. I don't know what this means. Oh, Off the Grid is the game name. Okay, we're fine. Off the Grid trailer shows gameplay of Neil Blomkamp's cyberpunk style battle royale. This is a very interesting sounding thing. So, looks
I
like
saw a
there's
video for it.
Yeah, another introduction into or another little addition to the battle royale genre of games. Looks like they're adding Off the Grid, which is, I guess, something it's very similar, like Cyberpunk-esque style game in the genre of battle royale, which sounds very unique. So it sounds like it's going to be very, but there's like a 2-minute trailer about it, but looks like there's.
It was a pretty good trailer. Cyberpunk is a unique game on its own. But everybody who comes out with their own battle royale style of game adds their own twists to it. And so I'm interested at least. I've never really played Cyberpunk, so that's not like a big thing to me. But I know a little about it. If the main character shown on that article, the dude looks dope. Just looks so cool. So I'm interested to see what their take on a battle royale game is.
I personally like the battle royale style. I think it's really interesting.
Yeah.
I think there's so much more that could be done with it. Like Fortnite has a certain way they are constricted. That was like kind of the original one that really took off and exploded the genre. I mean, there was also PUBG, which was huge, and then more recently, what's it called? I was gonna look it up.
PUBG.
No. There's a Apex Legends is
Oh,
Oh,
I think still pretty popular, but a little
I
while
never
back, a
played
few years
Apex.
back, it's actually pretty fun. I enjoyed it. I think it's fun to play. Um, I just don't. I haven't gotten heavily into it, but it's enjoyable. But I'm always down
And
to
then
see like
Call
a
of
new.
Duty came out with their own.
I've not seen anything about that, but
Yeah.
I've heard some people like it, so that's cool, I guess. But it looks like there's going to be all kinds of stuff like traversal features, like vehicles like trucks and cars. There's like advanced options like grappling hooks and jetpacks and stuff like that,
Ooh.
and it's going to be interesting. So, looking forward to seeing how that goes.
yeah, there was one. I want to say it might have been called Ghost Runner, if I remember correctly. Somebody tried to do a cyberpunk style, more of like a cyberpunk theme, like the aesthetic choice. But they tried to do a Royale kind of gameplay, and that never really took off. That was a few years ago, but
Hmm.
hopefully this one catches some ground because yeah, it seems like a lot of people, especially after they recently released the new DLC for Cyberpunk. Um, I think a lot of people are going to get back into it, so I think it's definitely set up to succeed this time.
Was
Is
Cyberpunk,
there?
Josh?
Go ahead.
Josh.
Is there more than one Cyberpunk?
So no, Cyberpunk is an aesthetic style. The name, like the word cyberpunk, is like you could say like Fortnite has more of a cartoon kind of style. Cyberpunk style is just more of like it's kind of more of a futuristic science fiction mixed along with a certain set of realism is kind of
Well,
the
there
whole
is a game.
aesthetic
It's called
behind it.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
came
that's a
out. Yeah.
game. Yeah, I'm just saying the cyberpunk style is what the game is trying to achieve.
So, is the Battle Royale trying to go off of the Cyberpunk 2077 game
No,
or
no,
the
no, no, no.
It's just the
Cyberpunk
cyberpunk
theme?
of a
The
like a
theme.
theme for the
Yeah,
game. Yeah.
more of the aesthetic choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm sure it's got a bunch of I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's got like a bunch of neon like blues and greens and it's kind of futury and some guys like real edgy with a big long coat or something. It's the style of cyberpunk and
Okay.
Cyberpunk 2077 came out and they capitalized on that style. So they've become interchangeable, but yeah, the you just got to be careful because if you say there's a cyberpunk battle royale, you have to define whether you mean like the genre or the actual game.
Yeah,
Because
I was taking it as that game, the
mm,
Cyberpunk 2077. That's what I thought they meant. I wasn't thinking like the
gotcha,
genre of
gotcha.
the game style. So, what were you gonna say, Nathan?
Oh, I don't remember. Article
Oh, my
3.
bad.
No, it's no issue.
Three,
3.
welcome.
Welcome. The My Mom Has Tourette's. The Xbox version.
Mine too.
The Xbox version of Baldur's Gate 3 will have cross-save compatibility with PlayStation. So it was already known that it would have cross-save compatibility with PC, but it has been confirmed that PlayStation it will also have. So you can essentially play. I mean, that means you can pretty much play with anybody, right? It's cross,
Mm-hmm.
but you can
If it's
like.
cross save, it's gonna be cross platform.
That makes sense. That was kind of a dumb question, I realize. However, pretty much you could pick it. Like, let's say I have a Xbox, a PlayStation, and a PC I play on, and for some reason I really wanted to, I could start playing one day on the Xbox and then pick it up on the PlayStation later and just play later on the PC, and it's going to continue on your save and everything and your characters, which is kind of cool. It's
Well, that's
nice
good.
whenever when they allow something like that. Rather than, oh, we're going to have this to be exclusive to Xbox.
Or we're gonna put a
Interesting.
game on the PC and not allow keyboard and mouse controls.
Dude.
Yeah, it's interesting, but I
crazy.
also think it almost sounds like a weird cash grab because think about it. How many people are going to buy this game for more than one system?
Not many.
Yeah, so I don't know what target demographic this is for, but I'd imagine if someone really likes the game and they're like, "Oh, it's not crossplay, it's on sale for like half off. I'm gonna go buy it for the Xbox now, even though I have it on PlayStation." or PC or whatever, and then I can bring my save file over. So you're telling me just paid an extra X amount of dollars to play it with your friends that you didn't have to if it was just actually crossplay.
Well, I get that if you're at home, why would you pay $120 for 2 games to be able to like go from your computer to lay in bed and play it on Xbox? I get that point. But like for truck drivers, let's say you're home playing during the weekend on the computer, but they make portable Xbox systems in a briefcase that has a built-in screen that like you can just take with you, sit on the table, and start playing. I can see for that how it would be cool because then like while you're at work during the week, if you don't go home during the week, you could just be like finish your day up and then just lay in bed and then you'd have your Xbox. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That is
I
nice.
see it working for that. But having the same game of 2 copies of the same game in the same house, just I don't know, that's a lot of money. The game was $60 for 1 copy. And that's if you bought the base version.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Did you buy the base version, Josh?
Yeah, I was looking at the big pack because of all this cool stuff it came with, but when I saw the price, I was like, nah, no thank you.
I saw that too. I was not a fan. I didn't really want to pay the $60 for it, but then I was like,
I like
it
the
looks fun.
Mind Flayer figure. That's what like was really drawing me to it. There were some other things. There was like a big D20 that came with it, I think, but I think the price. Don't quote me. I'm pretty sure it was more than $120. I think it was almost $300 for the collector bundle for that game.
Yeah, I believe I saw something about that, and I'm pretty sure that's the only version that even has a hard copy at the moment too. Like it's the only one that has like a disc copy if you really wanted it.
Well, my computer don't even take discs, so
Same.
Plebs.
That's old.
You're old.
So, Nathan,
Segue away from this. I don't like feeling old.
Have you talked to Steven?
No, why?
Because I was just thinking, wasn't he playing this game along with us?
No, but I
I thought he was because he wanted to give his opinion at the end.
I talked to him a little bit ago, not like recently, but like we talked about potentially having a guest star for the final episode where we bring up this game and having Steven join. He said he might be interested in doing that, but
so has he played or is he playing? Because I thought he was playing along.
No, he's played it before.
Okay, all right.
We're gonna have to like blur his face and give him a voice synthesizer so we can keep his anonymity.
Yeah, that real deep voice when they do that. They black like you can see the outline of them, but it's black and it's like, "Hello, I played this game many years ago.
I'm afraid of the cartel getting me, so I have to hide my identity."
That is accurate. Yeah, that is him. That's him to a T.
They tried to get me, but they can't hold me down.
Nope, nobody can.
Nice.
All right.
That's a good point, though. Yeah. So what? How far did everybody get this week, anyway? Let me just ask Nathan, how far did you get?
Yeah, I mean, not too far. But I've been I should have played a little bit more, but I've been mostly catching up with you guys, but not as consistently. Mostly because I'm more interested in hearing about your first experiences with it. That's the thing. When we actually are playing a new game, it's all new for all of us. It's going to be very different because we're all going to have
excited for
unique,
that point.
like take without having like knowing everything that's already going to happen in the future and stuff like that.
Andrew, you might as well stop playing Baldur's Gate with Joel and just save that for the podcast, to be honest.
Well, right? Is Nathan gonna get Baldur's Gate?
I'll drop it.
Are you interested? It's a fun game.
Incredible.
I like it.
It sounds amazing.
It is incredible. There's so much to it. But here's the thing, like 2 weekends in a row, you've had the same issue where Joel's like, he knows what he's doing, so he's just running ahead of everybody. And you're way behind everybody. You're like, I want to explore this myself. And I haven't. Yeah, I haven't gone past when me and you played, like that druid area. I haven't gone past that at all. So
yeah, that's why I just started playing a campaign by myself anyway. I didn't get too much further than we did, but just able to run around and explore. And that's the chaos, the random chaos you get when you play a co-op game with someone that is like so most cooperative games that I play have some sort of like boundary limit for each other. You either can't be so far away, or when someone goes to a different area, it teleports you there. Absolutely not in Baldur's Gate. I could be sitting at the first part of it, just past the first cutscene, and then you guys could be at like the Act 3, beginning of Act 3, and I'm just sitting there enjoying myself, trying to escape the tutorial area still.
And Joel's already beat the game, so like,
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
He got it pretty soon after it came out, and then he beat it pretty quickly.
He downloaded it from work the day it released.
All right.
So
yeah,
it's definitely save it or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of content to it, and there's 10,000 different game endings. It's 170 hours of cutscenes by themselves, not actual game time, and it's 110 hours of gameplay.
That's absurd.
So, but I guess we'll just cut right in and start with my notes. So the first thing I did when I went back to Talos is I found the Easter egg Nathan was taunting me with. And Andrew, do you care?
Did you find it, Andrew?
No, because I still don't even know what you're talking about, so I doubt it.
World A has a secret portal. Yeah, it is a portal. And
don't tell them where it is, but you can tell them there's a secret portal in the building, not outside the building.
In World A building, there's a secret portal in there that when you find it, once you go, it's one of those normal like lone portals you got to step in, but it's hidden. And it takes you to this world, and it's so cool. It was so funny. Like, you don't do anything there, but it was. I loved it.
So it's pretty much like almost like a little developer, almost like a love letter to the developers, where it's like a bunch of dudes with normal bodies and then like old school fat computer monitor heads on them, and then it has
pictures of the developers,
pictures of all the developers of the game on them, and they're just running around and doing different stuff, and it's
20 or 30 there.
There's a lot. They're running all around doing stuff. It's on like an island, and there's not really anything
and they're playing
at all
with the puzzle pieces.
Yeah, they're
playing with boxes. Yeah. A couple of them were stacking boxes on a fan and like trying to jump up in the air, and then they were getting stuck on the fan, or they were just. It was so cool. I was like, this was worth it. So I did that, and then Andrew, you said you finished the first floor of the tower, so I went and I did that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not much to talk about. It's just a computer in there, no star or puzzle piece. I did see where it tells you that the other floors are locked by a password. So I finished inside World B. As soon as I came in level 1, there was a blue recording robot that just came yelling at barely straight at me, and I'm like, what the heck? And he's screaming, and he's like, ow, right past you, and all of a sudden Elohim goes, cease, and the blue robot just disappears. And I like things like that, because like that, there's nothing else in that happens like that in the rest of World B. So, like, when I saw that, it was, like, very unexpected. Just this crazy blue robot. And now I know what the blue robots are. That, like, it was so cool. I liked it. Level 1 in World B wasn't too bad. There was another one of those shoot the lasers through one puzzle into another puzzle for the star. I got the fan. Level 2... looked up a star, the video for the star for finished level 2, looked up a video on the star for level 3 because I couldn't find it. I have been asking you guys about the QR codes, right? Like, can we see each other's? Found Nathan's painting in the hidden star area where you walk in to get the star. There's a QR code, and it says, the certification program is a sham. What does the computer know about humanity? Pendragon V99.47.0037.
Nice.
I don't know how it works because I almost feel I really don't know how the QR codes work because
Well, here's the thing. I found a ton of your QR codes immediately after that.
I found one of Stephen Thompson's.
Oh, Andrew, have you been finding paint and making your own QR codes?
Yeah, I haven't found either of your guys, but I'm also, because the game was free on PlayStation, I'm playing on that, so it might be a platform thing why I haven't seen you guys,
Okay. All right.
and vice versa.
Well,
Just a guess.
the world B. I've been finding a lot of Nathans.
That's funny.
I got yelled at by Elohim for talking to somebody on the computer.
Who is it that
Ah.
you are speaking to?
Oh yeah, he was
Is it
mad.
your secret girlfriend?
The guy was nice though.
That's good.
Took a few minutes to unlock the gold star room in World A. Because the gate, you have to get to the portal, you have to put all those Tetris pieces together. So I was struggling with that for a couple minutes. Did Gold World in World A. It didn't take as long as I thought it was going to be. The puzzles were very creative, and I liked them. That wood puzzle where you're chopping down the trees, it took me a minute to like figure out, but after that, like I really liked that puzzle. That was cool. And then the axe, and then I tried to take the axe out of the portal because I know you need the axe for the wooden doors, but then it wouldn't come with me out of the portal, and I'm like, what the heck? So I couldn't figure that out. But those puzzles were really cool. They were interesting. And
So
then
you didn't finish one of them then, correct?
no, I did them all. I'm done with the gold star room. I got all the
Okay,
puzzle pieces.
The way you explained that made it sound like you didn't
No,
finish
so there's
the
an axe in there. I tried to leave the gold portal to go back to the main room with that axe.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Because those wooden doors,
Hmm.
you have to chop them down. And I thought that you could take that axe out of the gold world with you.
Gotcha.
Found more of Nathan's QR codes. World B, level 3, the second puzzle from the left, I struggled with for probably half hour, 45 minutes. So I watched a video. There is a Pac-Man Easter egg behind a tree on level 3. Did you see that, Nathan?
No.
It's a giant Pac-Man head. Like,
That's
would you call it a
hilarious.
Pac-Man head or Pac-Man body, or do you just call it Pac-Man? Like,
Pac-Man,
It's just
I guess,
Pac-Man.
yeah.
okay.
He's
So
both.
there's a giant Pac-Man head and body.
Fun fact, did you know that the original name for Pac-Man actually used to be Puck-Man?
Yeah.
The problem, yeah,
People
they
were-
were worried about, they were worried about, people scratching out
Vandalism.
the A turning into an F. Yeah, so yeah,
The A.
interesting. No, not the. My bad.
the
Scratching out the P
Puck
in
muffin.
Puck-Man. Puck muffin.
Puck muffin.
Listen, it was a movie reference. If you get it, you get it. If you didn't, then it didn't matter that I
What
screwed
would
up.
a puck muffin taste like?
Probably hockey.
Ask your mom whenever she makes muffins. That's what it would taste like.
It tastes like
My mom
Tourette's.
doesn't cook.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Anyways, the level 3 star wasn't bad. I was struggling with the last puzzle on level 3, the red puzzle piece, and I was so tempted to give up and watch a video. And then I accidentally figured it out.
Accidentally?
Those are the
Yep.
best. That's happened to me a few times trying to solve a puzzle.
Very intentional? Because you're
No, because I was like, I'm like, right at the end, I was like, I'm gonna give up and just like watch a video to get this done. And then I accidentally did something that was like, oh, I can do this to finish the puzzle. And then I did it, and I was like, oh, okay, I got this puzzle.
That makes sense.
It's really weird because I can see myself in your glasses, but it's delayed. So I can like punch myself in the face.
I punched you in the face. All right.
In other news, this week's episode is brought to you by Great Value Ranch
No,
Dressing.
it's not. No, it's not. Don't sue us. That's not true. We don't have a sponsorship with Ranch.
I never said it was sponsored. I'm just saying
Oh,
it was brought to you because I perked my laptop on this at one point.
okay, I
So
see.
it was
My
brought to you by Ranch
apologies.
Dressing.
I jumped to conclusions. The episode.
However, if Walmart wants to sponsor us,
I mean,
by all means, Walmart, we could really boost your revenues.
we won't be
Great
against
value.
it.
Great value would. I'm just saying. I think we'd be the ones to bring the great value if we're being honest here. But
How do
yeah.
we get sponsorships? Like Liquid Death? Would there be like some?
That was a great plug at the perfect time because Liquid Death.
Pause.
Drinks your mother wouldn't drink.
She would.
All right.
I
Anyway,
think she would.
so
It's just
I
water.
figured out what the blue things are because I unlocked the recording machine.
Ooh, fancy.
Now, does Andrew know though what they are?
I do not. So
Then probably don't continue too much with that line of
The
thought.
recording.
We're a
thing
little
is
bit. We're a
so
little bit
cool.
behind with how we're generally trying to play through this game together, but
Well,
there
you
was a
said
little
talk
bit of a
about the
disconnect this
puzzles,
week.
and that's part of it. So I don't know. Didn't know if that was a big deal or not.
Yeah,
well, it sounds like it's story related though.
it's like
Why
a
you know
new.
what
It's
they
not really
are.
story related, but it's more like there's a new.
You become a blue recording.
You're really
permanently.
not. You're not good at not spoiling when someone says don't spoil it, Josh. So
I don't
I'm
know
done
what a
with this
spoiler
podcast.
is.
I'll see you guys later.
Well, that's we're back to just the 2-man.
And 3 if it would load.
Oh, there
What
he
a
is.
jerk.
There we go.
Don't say much
Yeah,
more
how's
on
it?
that.
So it's
I know. You can save it for next week once Andrew's caught up. We're a little bit offset here.
I'm just gonna copy and paste these. Well, Andrew, I need you to beat level 6, and I need you to unlock World C,
Listen
and
here,
then
you're the
I
one
need
who
you to
said
do
I
all
have
the
time
world.
constraints, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna do 2 whole worlds. That's fine, bud."
Andrew's the one who said, I have so much time. I have
Yeah.
so much more time
He
than all of
was,
you.
and I texted Andrew, and I said, Andrew, how far have you played? And he goes, No, I play Sundays after church. And
Yeah.
I said, Okay. And then I was like, All right, well, I'm gonna stop. I beat level 5 in World B. He says, Okay. And then I was like, No, I lied. I just beat level 6 too. And he said, Oh well, okay. And then today he's like, I didn't do anything.
Yeah, because some of us just play the game not expecting, Mr. As soon as I saw you send that, I was like, oh, okay, he's definitely way further than me. And that was in the middle of the frustration period because I could not figure out something and I am too hard headed to give up. And the more Elohim or someone's like, please come back to it again, my child. I'm like, yeah, my child, you can stop that. First of all, I'm a grown man. Second of all, I will beat my head on this wall until I open this door. I don't care. So you get mad at me, Elohim.
In your messages, you said I beat the first couple levels in B. So I took that as the portal worlds within B, you beat the first couple.
Yeah,
But you meant you beat the first couple puzzle pieces within world level 1.
Level 1, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I thought like, oh, level 6. If he'd stunned 2 or 3, then I'm only like 2 or 3 levels ahead of him. But no, I'm 5.
No, we're a bit off, but it's all right. It's all
Well,
right.
technically 7 levels off because I did the wooden door worlds too. So,
Indeed.
which was pretty cool.
Yeah. Which brilliant. If you're not finished, continue, but that would be a great segue for me to just explain my frustrations.
Yeah, I'll just copy and paste these notes into next week's.
10
Because everything else is about level
fair enough.
2 to 6.
Yeah. But yeah, usually when you're like the one who has time constraints, I'm just thinking, I didn't think I'd get too stuck on something. I seem to breeze through most of the puzzles anyway. None of them have really given me too much of a hard time until this one.
I'm telling you, some of them get real complicated.
Yeah, and it's weird because like Josh said, I accidentally figure out puzzles like pretty more often than I should. And it's usually just because I'm carrying something around and then something blinks when I hover past it and I'm like, oh, there's a thing over here that I should probably use. And that's usually how my dumb luck works. Oh, hiccups works out. In this one, I couldn't get past the Dum Dum Mine stage on the Star World and World A just because I chopped down every tree, every bush, every ficus, and I could not find out what I was doing wrong because I could not find a jammer for the life of me in that stage. I was like, well, I must have to be able to bring it from somewhere else. I went through all the other puzzles there,
Which puzzle
could
is
not
this?
find. This is Dum Dum Mine. It's the puzzle where you had to bring in
Is this
the
the Star
axe from
World?
outside. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I looked everywhere in all the other levels, and I was like, this isn't making sense. Because usually, if you go back far enough in each world or whatever, you'll figure it out eventually. You just gotta thoroughly scan. So I was
Mhm.
thoroughly scanning, and I was like, bro, there's not a single shrub. If there's something brown, it's been chopped down in this world, and I just could not find out what I was doing wrong. And so I'm looking around, looking around. After probably about 3 solid hours of just trying to find
Oh, that's rough.
this stupid jammer, I looked in all the different areas and I went back to the fan and I was like, I've got to be missing something. So I look around. I didn't look around in the freaking fan room because I didn't see that you could go up behind a certain area and reach
Oh
a
no.
staircase where there's a wooden block off that you chop it down with the axe, and I like threw my controller just about, and I was like, man, it was literally right next to where I had to go, and it took me about 3 hours to find that. So I went down and I just reset everything because I was angry, so I could chop down all the trees again. So I chopped down everything again just because I was mad. And
The way you play
yeah,
games
then I
is
brought the
funny.
jammer in. And the way I just brought that jammer in, and I was like, "This is." And then I solved the puzzle in like 10 seconds. I was like, "Yeah, this is not a good time." And then I was just thinking, you know what? I spent way too much time on this, and I'm not going to play anymore. I don't care how far behind I am. I'll catch up because I'm just that guy. But this one just stumped me, man. I was so frustrated, and it was just something so quickly that I overlooked. It was
It's
irritating.
hilarious because you did just overlook it, and then you spent what 3 hours searching everywhere but where you needed to search.
Yep,
That sucks
that's exactly
so
it.
much.
Well, so the opposite happened to me because the first thing I do when I get into a world is I run around, or when I get into a levels, I run around looking at everything before I start doing the puzzles,
Hmm.
and then like to see if there's anything hidden or whatever I can find. And I ran through that middle piece first, and I just looked over to the right and I saw there were stairs, and I went up them, and then that's when I found the jammer. I'm like, I wonder what this is for. And then I went
I found it
to
immediately.
the puzzle on the left, and then I was like, that's when I struggled because I was like, why? Like, I don't know what to do past here. And then I ran out, and then I happened to look to my left, and there's this black stand thing there, and I'm like, what the heck is this? And I went around, and it's the axe. I'm like, oh, what is this for? And then I went back in with it, and I was like, oh, okay. So
Nice.
after that, the next two puzzles were there. Were still hard, but they were like pretty easy to solve.
hmm Yeah, when I play a game, I'm definitely a guy in terms of like RPG terms, the games that I usually kind of play. I will 100% like if I get caught on a side quest, I'll make it my mission to just finish all the side quests before I can move on the main story. And that gets you over leveled sometimes, and sometimes it's just certain games like I want to go down that rabbit hole as far as I can before I move on, just in
Hmm.
case there's something that it could use to help me in the future.
Okay, okay.
Indeed.
So yeah, you'll see from time to time if I'm not speeding through the main quest line of one of these games we're playing, it's because I've went down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I'm very bad with games like open world, like Skyrim and stuff, because I'll just go
hmm
explore everything instead of doing the actual story if there's an actual story, and then it's like
hmm
I'm like super overpowered, and then I have to go like shear some sheep for a farmer or something, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should have done this back in the day. I don't know, man. I end up doing that a lot too. It's hard for me to like fall because I get so distracted by everything. I'm like, what's on that mountain? What's that
Yeah,
building off in the distance? Yeah.
a completely natural segue into the next portion of our programming. I believe it is time for some fantasy draft.
Fantasy draft. Classic. Do love it.
So the one I came up with is, if you could create your own set of Magic the Gathering cards, what would you choose?
You'd made what? That's
Oh, he's
So with
not
all
liking this.
Yeah, this is
gaming
probably one of the
news-
few that I'm not a fan of. I'm just not a big fan of Magic the Gathering.
Well, I've never played it either, but with all the gaming news, like the Lord of
Yeah.
the Rings, and what was the one last week that they're coming out? What's that game called? Shoot,
A lot of
What's-
games you shoot in, buddy. You're gonna have to
Nathan. What is that game called that they're coming out with cards for? The end of the world game.
I don't know, Fallout? That guy?
Fallout. Yeah. So I figured, like, if we could come up with our own packs of cards, what would we choose?
I have my 1 and 2.
Wow,
I
that's
still
quick.
need this explained to me because I'm not sure what we're looking for
Okay,
here.
so he's
So, like,
just saying, like,
Magic the
what worlds
Gathering-
would you want to see brought to Magic the Gathering in the way that Lord of the Rings world was, Fallout is...
So, like, yeah.
Got it.
Like, think of Yu-Gi-Oh! If you were to introduce a world to Yu-Gi-Oh! What cards, like, they made Lord of the Rings and now they're making Fallout, what world would you introduce?
Gotcha.
So you're first, Nathan's second, I'm third, I'm first, Nathan's second, you're first, third.
Wow,
That
there's
is
a lot.
how counting works.
Three!
Let's see. What would I want to bring to the Magic the Gathering world?
We could do what would you bring to the world and what would be the prized single card.
Gotcha. What world would I bring into the beyond? So I would personally, and how I'm going to do my picks, I would definitely try to bring one thing in that would kind of fit into the world well, but I would also bring in something that is completely out there that they would it would kind of just force them into, like in D&D, because they're already integrated into Magic the Gathering. They both cross over, but I would, in D&D they have Rick and Morty content, which is something that's just like way out of left field that they just somehow made it work. So I would try to do something like that, but also something that fits in pretty well. Man. So
Well, it doesn't have to fit in pretty well. Like Fallout, there's nothing magic in Fallout, but like they're making playing cards. So I mean, you could you would be realistic to be like, I want to put a football team and have Magic the Gathering cards made out of them, and then your prize card would be like your favorite football player.
Gotcha. I would say, I could see it somewhat fitting the theme pretty well. And knowing what little I know about Magic, I could see some of I think they're the field cards. I would equate them to energy cards, like the forest or light or whatever.
Land, yeah.
I would love to see, I guess we'll just call it biblical. Wow, went completely blank. But yeah, we could definitely go biblical Magic the Gathering. So like,
do a lot.
Jesus would definitely be like the strongest commander card or whatever, and then he would require a lot of the light land energies and stuff. You could have the different disciples as being like some of the other cards you could get, and they would take different land cards and have I'm trying to think of some of
That's a good idea.
Some of the effects that I know that would work too, so if they have some sort of like piercing effect, I would definitely say, I'd have Peter as like the piercing because he cut off the dude's ear and just like weird things like that.
Wouldn't that be slashing?
Slashing, yes. Yeah. If there's some sort of slashing, I've only played Magic once.
He poked a hole in the dude's ear. All he did was give him a piercing.
Fair. I'd say that's my first pick. It would fit in kind of well, and it'd be kind of funny.
Nathan, what's yours?
So I'm having a hard time deciding in my number one because I would want to absolutely pick something from Brandon Sanderson from his Cosmere. But the Cosmere alone is so large, I would have to pick one like series. So I think I would probably pick the Stormlight Archives, and basically a series of cards based on the Stormlight Archives on the world of Roshar, and absolutely I think the number one card there, like that chase card, that with the one ring card, would be the tower called Urithiru. And this is going to mean nothing to you guys because you know nothing about this. However, I think that would absolutely, without a doubt, be my number one here.
You're right. I know nothing about that. I don't even know anything about Magic the Gathering or how it's played.
Barely. Same.
But, Andrew, this is the one I thought you would have taken. And the more I think about it, I like. My first pick would be Scott Pilgrim.
Good
I'd
call.
thought about it.
And I think my one card would be him holding when he does the drawing goes, it looked like this. Or she looked like this.
Oh yeah, you know the girl with hair like this? Yeah, that's Ramona Flowers.
Can you quote that whole movie?
Just about. I'm sure I could if I really tried.
It's funny. You love that movie so much, and it is a great movie. But the D&D podcast I was listening to, they talked about it, and I was like, oh, Andrew!
Nice. Send me the link to that one whenever we're done. I'll listen to it.
It's hilarious. I'm on episode 18. They're like an hour long. It's not so... Little elevator speech real quick. The D&D podcast, it really draws you into like like you really paint the beautiful picture in your mind when you're listening to it. It's very theatrical and it's just a beautiful world. Is Critical Role. If you want to listen to
really need to
something,
watch that.
well, every episode of Critical Role is 4 hours, and I was listening to it. I'm on episode 36 of their campaign 2, and there's 100-something episodes, so
It's a lot.
tons of hours.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful. It's well done. They're voice actors. Matt Mercer is the greatest
I
DM
love
in
Matt
the world.
Mercer so much.
Matt Mercer's great.
Sam
He's
Riegel
beautiful.
is one of the funniest people ever. It is great.
I really
My favorite.
Yeah, I need to go listen to that from the start. I didn't mean to cut you off.
But if you want to listen to a podcast that you're laughing the entire time for an hour, listen to Dungeons and Daddies. What it's about is their first season is they're a bunch of like real world dads that are all going on a soccer trip,
Dungeons and Daddies.
and they get transported to the Forgotten Realms of D&D as dads. Like they're driving around the Forgotten Realm in their minivan,
That's
and
fantastic.
they're like their weapons are like axes out of the car repair kit. Their first aid bag that they brought for the soccer game they were supposed to be going to, and like the one guy's name, he brought beer with him for the soccer game, and it's like it's their health potions, but it's hilarious. Like it is so funny. But yeah, I listened to I think both of them are on Spotify, but Dungeons and Daddies I listen to on Spotify. It's funny every episode. It says it's an hour and 45 minutes, but they actually have sponsors, so they do a lot of commercials in the beginning, in the middle, and the end. So they're like 3 minutes in the beginning, 3 minutes in the middle, and 3 minutes at the end. But the rest is them playing.
I'm
They're
in love
not
with
as
that
like tight
name.
on the rules. What?
I'm in love with that name.
Oh, it's great because well, everybody calls the DM the Daddy Master, but then like they're literally playing dads in their thing. It's great, but they have a second campaign, but I'm not there yet. I think their first campaign's like 40 or 60 episodes, but it's funny. But if you want to listen to like a theatrical, well done, like Critical Role, they invest so much time in their characters, like they actually get emotional. Like
oh yeah,
and it's amazing because even you get with it.
I will say that I won't reveal too much because I know a couple of the people that watch are in the campaign that I'm going to be running soon. But where the campaign that I'm running, that I'm going to be DMing for, is going to be kind of similar to that, where it's more of a, I think the anime term at least, is an isekai, where like you just kind of get transported to another world, but you're still like you.
Mhm.
So, but one of the players that is going to be in this campaign, he turned me on to Critical Role, and I love Matt Mercer, and I'm really, because of him introducing it to me, I'm starting to really become a huge fan of Brandon Lee Mulligan. He is absolutely hilarious. I think Matt Mercer's still my favorite DM on there, but dude, Brandon Lee Mulligan is so funny. He's a riot.
Well, Dungeons and Daddies is very flexible with the rules. Like
Hmm.
they do things like with Matt Mercer when he plays a boss, like when they're in a fight scene, he's actually like trying. Like it's not like, oh, like do this to me and it'll kill the character. Like
Hmm.
if he kills your character, he kills it. Like, oh wow, it's
Oh
part
yeah.
of D&D. But with
Yep.
Dungeon and Daddies, like the DM's like, well, if you can come up with an idea, I don't care what it is. Like, if it's great, we'll roll with it. And then so like, but they're very flexible with the rules. They're like, just roll this. You know, we'll go with it.
Yeah.
So if you
So,
want like legit D&D Critical Role, if you want something funny, Dungeons and Daddies.
backing up to Critical Role, how important is it to watch it rather than just listen to it?
Well, I just listen. I drive. I
Okay,
listen.
so you don't really even like actually watch it.
No,
I mean, I'm sure they have like legitimate
watching
like good
it is
visuals
a
and
little bit
such.
more immersive. Well,
Yeah,
because Matt Mercer does all of
immersive.
his battles with. So they do it live on Twitch, and then it goes to YouTube.
Oh,
So
okay,
on Twitch, Matt
that's
Mercer's
smart.
camera is here, and then everybody else's camera is here. The 6 to 7 people that play, and
Hmm.
then right here throughout their game will be their character sheets. And then when they battle, Matt Mercer builds battle sets. He like
That's
3D
cool. That's
prints
cool.
it. He paints minis for it.
I
So
like
then the
that.
camera will turn to the battle board. So I mean, like it's more immersive if you watch, but listening to it, if you have a creative
Perfectly
mind
fine.
like we
Yeah,
all do, you're gonna paint your own world. But you get so into it, dude.
that's awesome. I might
I
start listening
want.
to it.
So they have a campaign 1 and a campaign 2 that are done. Campaign 3 is currently active. So
Hmm.
every Thursday they go live on Twitch, and there's 70 episodes in on campaign 3.
Okay, awesome.
But campaign 1 is their beginning. Their audio and video isn't that well. Like the first
That's
couple
fine.
episodes is kind of rough to listen to personally. But they're good because campaign 1 and campaign 2 and campaign 3 all end up becoming the same world.
Okay, that's really cool. I
So
like that
like
a
I
lot.
wouldn't listen to campaign 3 without listening
Oh, I'll
to the
start from the
first and
beginning.
second.
Absolutely. And what's your second?
Absolutely. That was the golf clap because that was an excellent elevator speech, my guy.
Halo. Master Chief would be the prize card.
Oh,
Nice. There you
You'd
go.
have the
interesting.
Covenant and all those cards, and then like the Warthog card and the Go. Like, I think you could really get a good world out of that.
Interesting. Cool, cool. Nathan?
Mine is the children's
Oh,
board game Operation.
how would that work?
I don't know, man. All the operation pieces, and then the dude and his holes, and maybe the tweezers would be the prize card, like the
Ooh,
card people are
tweezers. Yeah.
going for.
So the
Yeah,
different body parts would be a card, and then the tweezers, and then the person
yeah,
himself.
exactly. And then maybe the kids playing the game would be one. It's kind of like a meta haha in joke. But I was
And
kind of
then
I
it
was
could
between
be,
that
yeah.
I was between that and Candyland, so I chose that one. That one made more sense to me.
I love how you went straight board game for your cards.
Of course, my if I had a legitimate second option, it would be Wheel of Time. But
Something
continue.
else I don't know.
What's your second, Andrew?
So I'm not going to do it just because we were just talking about it, but whenever you're talking about Critical Role, it did give me the idea of just bringing them into the Magic the Gathering world. Have like the lead card be like just called the DM, and just that'd be kind of funny. But Dungeons and Dragons is already kind of in it, so I'm not going to do that. Honestly, and this might... I feel like I talked to one of you guys about this before years ago. So this might either be a great callback or throwback, or you're going to have no idea what I'm talking about, but that's fine.
Just
But I
like
would
Nathan
love
last
to...
week when you didn't remember talking about that video game.
Listen, I messaged Nathan after that, and I was like, listen, Nathan, I was the one who brought it up, but I'm letting Josh go as long as he can.
Oh man!
I
Just to
can't
see.
believe we never talked about that again.
I know. I
That's
forgot all about that.
incredible. Yeah, it was
That's
Andrew. It wasn't
wonderful.
me.
I looked at the game today and I'm like, somebody told me about this game.
You were
I am going
certain
crazy.
it was me.
Yeah,
You were
it
so
was.
certain.
It might have even been in the podcast too, because
I think
it might have been just after one of them too, because it might have been after we were done. But anyways, back to what I was saying. I would probably bring in oh crap, what's it called? Oh, it just left in my head.
Oh no.
I would bring in Artemis Fowl. So there's a book series.
I read
So
that.
maybe it was you that I talked. Okay, maybe it was Nathan I was talking to about it. But there was a book series that I read when I was in like middle school or elementary school
They're
called
awesome.
Artemis Fowl. I've only read like 2 of them, maybe 3, and I know there's like, I don't know, 10 or 12 now.
I
But
think there was
I
only
know
8.
I read the...
There might be only 8.
Oh, wow. I know I read the first one, and I read Arctic Incident. But those are the only 2 that I read. But, you know, obviously, the Artemis Fowl would be the lead
I know
card,
the books too. I just don't know if I've read them.
Yeah. It was like, I don't remember what 3 was, and it was like Opal Deception, and then there was some others. There was like, I don't remember a lot.
There's
of them,
Artemis
actually,
Fowl, the Arctic Incident, Eon, Call for the Eternal Code, Time Paradox, the Lost Colony, the Opal Deception. Those are
Colfer,
6 of the books.
Ian Colfer was the
author. But I appreciate the quick Google search while we were doing it. So that was helpful.
I like the thought that Josh just had all this information like lodged in his brain somewhere that he just accessed. He didn't Google.
You don't know me. You don't know me.
Those are great. I mean, they're very YA, and I don't really read a lot of YA anymore. But like, they were great for the time at least, and I'm sure if I read them again, I'd like enjoy them. But
why don't you do YA anymore?
I don't know.
Young adult. Just that setting is kind of a...
Well, now I know what YA means. Thank you.
Had a feeling you didn't. I was trying to help you out without throwing it out.
I actually have a... Oh, who is that? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, my wife wants to know what YA means, because she doesn't know what that... I'm asking for a friend.
Hey, babe, YA means young adults.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My wife's not even in the room.
Josh, why do you look like a ghast again? Did you turn on an extra light? What's happening?
Joshua's being raptured.
He started glowing, and then one day he just disappeared. Oh man. Is that what the rapture is supposed to look like?
We just fall over.
I was trying to do that scene from Independence Day when they're stuck in the alien clamps and they're just like, they lean around the side.
Oh my gosh, callback. Holy crap, that's such a good movie. I love that movie so much.
That's my favorite movie.
I guess we got through that finally. We got through all of them. That was solid choices, everybody, except for all choices but mine were crappy.
Sorry, the fantasy draft wasn't too spectacular like Andrew's last week. I have brain farts.
Joshua, this was a beautiful fantasy draft, and I appreciate it. It was a good time.
It was beautiful, and it was the only reason
they're hard to think of.
It's not so much that, it's for me anyways, I don't know much about Magic the Gathering. I tried playing it once, I couldn't catch on to it very well because
I'm so fat. Every time I want to come up with a fantasy fact, I just want to do food.
Dude, me too. Any fantasy idea, I'm like, I could do 50 billion ideas about food, but
I think my favorite one has still been the liquid coming out of the hands. That was
good. I'd seen somewhere somebody did like it was more so if you could have one liquid coming out of each of your fingers, what would it be? And I was like, that's far too much.
Oh man,
because like in that case, I'd do like
But if
Jack
you get
and
confused
Coke,
and you like get like this one, but you forgot that like this one's mayonnaise and this one's like Pepsi, and so like you're shooting Pepsi at people instead of mayonnaise.
And then you get mayonnaise in your cereal thinking it's milk. Disgusting.
Goodness. They're both white, but
I
one's
don't
chunky.
think
Does the milk
anybody
expire,
in the
though?
world
No,
would
absolutely
mistake milk for mayonnaise. Unless they really like to just let their milk sit out for a while.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you could just forget what finger it's on.
Yeah.
Like, you could be like, oh, milk, and then you're like, whoops, accidentally did mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is the middle
'Cause
finger.
then you'd
I
have to
was good
like
at
get
that.
finger tattoos, like going this way, like milk, Pepsi, ketchup.
Mayo, yeah, just
Like what? Oh, this one.
Oh, that's funny. That's good.
yeah. But I just didn't have anything to argue about because I'm like, I can't argue Magic the Gathering because I don't know much about it.
Well,
I mean, if you
couldn't
want me
think
to,
of
I could just say all your
cards.
ideas suck.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I
I
did.
could do that pretty well.
You wouldn't do that because you like Scott Pilgrim too much.
Your idea sucks. Scott Pilgrim doesn't work with Magic the Gathering. Scott Pilgrim is magic, and everyone gathers to watch the greatest movie of all time.
Ah, okay. I like where he's
Can we
going.
do a poll when this video releases? Out of the 5 viewers that watch it, how many of them have seen Scott Pilgrim?
I think 5 is pushing it, but yeah, we can do that in the comments.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome.
If you've made it this far, viewer, let us know if you've ever watched Scott Pilgrim versus
Viewer.
the world.
At this point, we're just talking to Steven, let's be real.
And my mom.
I mean, kind
Yeah.
of. Very possible. Very possible.
She came in the kitchen today and she's like, "Why haven't I received a podcast in a couple weeks?"
Let's go. Josh's mom.
That's awesome.
But
It's
next
that
week's the
correct
big
chicken.
week, boys. Episode number 10.
Woo, we're finally making it to double digits.
And
Oh, this is 9.
our Play
huh?
Together will be releasing soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on that. We did a.
And the next Play Together, I think we've pretty much decided, or at least 2 of us have, is we're playing Ultimate Chicken Horse.
I'd love to. It's a fun one. That's not something that's gonna cause anyone to rage quit like Andrew and. No, that was Wade.
Well, Andrew had a
that
lot
was your
going on
homie
that
there.
time.
Yeah, that was a lot going on that day. That's for sure.
Well, didn't you
There
get a
was a
phone
whole
call or
lot.
something too at the same time?
Yeah, I don't
Mhm.
know. That was crappy. We thought you were just.
Andrew was being
We
yelled
thought you
at,
were just
trying
really
to play
upset.
and on the phone at the same time.
No, I was on a call for a good bit of it, but it was weird because it was like someone called me that doesn't usually call me, so I was like, I bet something's wrong, and it was. But like, there got to that point in the conversation where I'm just like, I
have
know
to
what
focus.
you're saying. I know what you're trying to say, but at the same time, I don't really want to listen to you talk. So and that's when I started like just killing myself over and over again because I was just like, I'm so I'm so done with this conversation, but like I can't focus on the game because I suck and I'm just gonna get irritated.
Yeah, because Nathan and I were like, the whole point of this was like, Andrew was supposed to rage, but his raging is just being quiet and muting himself. What do we do?
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
Yeah, well,
It's
I'll
good.
get that edited soon. We'll have it up there, and it'll be good. But
I'm excited for Ultimate Chicken Horse. I think
Yeah,
I've played
games
before
like-
after looking at pictures. And
I just love little fun like
looks
arcade,
hilarious.
like just party games like that. It's always a good
Yeah.
time. We could do Mario Party, like just have a good time with it. But
Oh, I
Side
would
note,
love
just
Mario
before-
Party.
That's what I was going to bring up in this podcast because I was sure we were going to bring up Ultimate Chicken Horse anyway. As of the end of July, they have Ultimate Chicken Horse merch. They got shirts, hats,
Interesting.
yeah. And I was
All
like,
right.
this. I don't know who wants this merch this late in the game because the game was made in 2017.
it's older.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, everyone wants T-shirts now, and I'm like, bro, we got to get T-shirts to rep our favorite little character, I guess.
Apparently. All right.
Andrew, are you... We love you guys. Thanks for joining us again, and we'll see you next week.
Oh, we're
I'm
ending it.
Josh.
Wow, we're gonna end it on that cliffhanger. Find out next week on My Mom Has Tourette's podcast what Josh tried to ask Andrew about. And
He's
I'm Nathan.
Andrew. I'm Andrew. And we'll see you around town, ladies and gentlemen.
Or in the city, or in jail.
Censorship
whatever.
sucks. See you later.
Bye.
Night.
Welcome.